Yeah, that's the title. Microdosing hypothermia for your beard. I know it's a little bit aggressive. I know it's a little bit attention grabbing, but it is real and it is all to help your beard. Take a warm shower, and at the very end, I'm talking the last 30 seconds, you guys. 30 seconds. Some of you know that time too well. Oh, and on that time, get that water as cold as it can go, especially if you have like the little wand, you know, that like pops down from the shower, and put that cold water all over your beard and your face. If you really want to amp up the benefits, put it on the top of your head and the rest of your body. It's unbelievable for mental health. There's real studies out there. It's great for your skin, but we're here to talk about beards. And we're here to talk about vasoconstriction. I don't know if I said that right, but I think I did. And it is the concept of what happens when you introduce cold water to your beard. And we call this cold rinsing. Many of you have tried it. If you don't believe me, read the comments down below on how it changed their beard health, their beard appearance, their beard routine. It's absolutely free, I guess, other than paying for your water use. That's a little bit extra. And it really is like a very small scale case of hypothermia that's helping out your beard. And I'd love to get into the details and share the science behind it. I've covered this on the channel before, but this is your winter reminder to say, this isn't fun. This can suck, but it's worth it. And how about the amazing benefit of starting your day with something challenging and conquering it? That's at least what I tell myself. If that sounds good to you guys, for real, just quick, check to see if you remembered that thumbs up. It's free. Check to see if you're subscribed. It's also free. I love making content and I appreciate those returning subscribers out there. Cold rinse. It is going to constrict the blood vessels that are surrounding your beard. Every hair has two blood vessels or arteries that go to it. And when you do that cold rinse, it works like hypothermia. It is going to constrict those blood vessels and stop blood from going to the surface. The reason why is when you get in hypothermic situations, your body immediately prioritizes what they believe to be the most important aspects. If let's say you jump in the cold ocean and you get real hypothermia, the blood leaves your extremities, meaning your fingers and your toes. Why? Because your body says, hey, we like those are important, but your core is way more important. Your internal organs are very important. We can live without some fingers. We can live without some toes. Oh my gosh, Dan, that's why when there's frostbite, people lose their toes. They lose their, yes. All of that blood goes to the core. It keeps you warm where it's needed. It's going to keep the blood flowing through the spots that need the blood. So your beard does this very similar thing, but again, it's at such a small scale. That's why I called it microdosing. When you're taking a warm shower, that blood is flowing. That is a great thing. But it can lead to some inflammation. The more blood flow you have there, the more rush you're getting, and it can inflame, which has some downsides to it. Best of all worlds, get the blood flow going and then blast it with a cold rinse and it will stop that inflammation. It's going to lower the inflammation and bring it to a complete halt. And then once you get out of the shower, it's like the floodgates open again and woof, a rush of blood back to the surface. Those blood vessels are going to open back up again, and that punch of that rush is bringing nutrients, and it is so going to help your beard. Let alone the hair, where I give this example all the time. Think about pine cones, right? You can have a pine cone that's nice and just completely calm and flat. Everything's tucked in nice and tight. You can also have the pine cones where they're opened up and out like this. Your hair cuticles work the same exact way. When you have warm water, they go, meow, and they open up. I don't know what that noise was, but you get, meow. They open up to the world. And there's some benefits there. It can help with stuff like absorption rate, but if it gets too open and inflamed, it hurts your absorption rate. So let's get that opened, and then with that cold rinse, it says, and it tightens everything back up again. One of the issues of the pine cones being open, aka your beard hairs, is they latch onto each other and can cause tangles and snags. Where when you finish with a cold rinse, they're nice and smooth, and they will, when you brush and you comb, it will go by with less friction. We just talked about that on a video. Benefit, benefit, benefit. And then when you get out of the shower, that blood comes rushing back. That highway is open to nutrients, and that rush is just incredible for your beard. It's almost like shock therapy. It's almost like the benefits of a cold plunge, the benefits of a sauna, all of those things wrapped into a small microdosed version for cold rinsing. No way, Dan, not worth it. Hey, do your thing, player. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm just here to convey real information. I live in Michigan. It is cold right now. There's a feels like of like 8 degrees. Do I always want to do a cold rinse? No, I never want to do a cold rinse, but I do it because I know the benefits. I know it's good to start your day by accomplishing something difficult, and I just have experience with how much impact it can make on my beard, on my skin, and on my mental health. I start it with the cold shower on the top of my head. There are some studies out there on mental health. I'll see if I can find it and link it in the description. And then I do my face and my beard, and that's actually not too bad. If I'm feeling real kind of sissy that day, I'll take the wand, whatever, the handle of the shower and just do it on the beard. I always do the beard. But most days, I turn around, I let it get the shoulder blades first, and it goes down the back, right? And then I turn to the front, I get the pits and the bits. That's extra difficult. Woo! But I will tell you what, after that shower, I am awake. I am good to go. I'm ready to tackle the day. People are like, dude, how do you have all this energy? I remember a day recently where you drove from Texas to Michigan. Then that day you fixed 3 water problems from plumbing that you had at your house that you came home to. And you had a haircut. Then you live streamed Command's Corner for 3 hours. You were up at 5 a.m. that day to do all that. How? I don't know, man. I'm just wired different. But the cold rinse, I really promise you, makes a difference in my approach for the day. Microdose your beard for nearly free with a cold rinse, and you will experience massive benefits, almost everybody. Now, is it 100%? No, of course not. We teach the rule and acknowledge there are exceptions. There will be people who are very beard knowledgeable, very beard experienced, and say it's not for me. Do I think in the back of my mind there's a little bit of it's a challenging thing, so they're convincing themselves of confirmation bias that it's not working? Sure. They might counter and say, Dan, you're doing something difficult. You're going to convince yourself of confirmation bias that it is working. Possible. But I do have science on my side. I do have many others, a large sample size of anecdotal evidence on my side. Down below, you guys, do you do a cold rinse? How cold do you go? If you're in the South where your water doesn't get that cold out of the shower, is there another option? One thing I recommend is a glass of ice water on top of your shower. At the end, dump it on your beard. It's not as good, but it will make a difference. Dan, can I just jump over to the sink and do cold water in the sink? No. It needs to be immediate from that warm water of the shower, that trapped environment of the moisture, of the humidity of the shower, hitting the cold. The second you open that shower door and release all of that, you've lost the major benefit. Cup of ice water on top, dump it on the beard. All right? Any other questions? I know I hit a couple of those right there. Let me know down below, you guys. More days is better. Can I go every other day? Sure. But the more you do it, the better. I get a lot of questions on cold rinse, so I'm trying to just spit out some of the ones that you guys are wondering. Cannot wait to hear your questions. Please leave your experiences down below. How have you found a cold rinse to work? What other add-ons do you have? You guys, I love this stuff. Excuse me. Thank you for watching today. My name is Dan C. Bearded. Please stay bearded and stay positive.